welcome to Eating Snacks with Jesus. That is what I guess I'll call this segment here. If I can find a nice good place for the camera to get me and capture me. Yes, I'll call this segment here Snacks with Jesus. And if you want to know what Snacks with Jesus are like, follow and subscribe for more. Because I am Sage. I used to go by Jesus, but now I will go by Sage. Alright, let me fix myself here. I just got in from the cold weather. Clippy clip, clip right here. This is from the Imagine Festival, and it says, "Never give up," with a heart symbol. And then on the other side it says, "At Rave Genie, ORL, plur," with another heart. There you go, people. There you have it. Everything has a meaning, and every meaning has a thing. Ta-ta-da! Today on Snacks with Jesus, I'll be turning into a mean bean monster. Do you want to see me turn into a mean bean monster? We've come to the right place. No hesitation, brothers. Wait, let me shake it up a bit. I know I can't be the only one that has to do that. Like I pop it open and then it's just got a hole, so I can't shake it. So I got to put my tongue over the hole. So can't be the only one in the world, right? All right. Just love, pure love for coffee. Very sweet. Not very much coffee flavor. Smells a lot like coffee. In fact, I wish I could have this and then a Starbucks espresso and then combine the two with a little bit of a caramel syrup and some whipped cream on top. Not much, just keep it very pure and simple. Just a little bit of whipped cream, and it would be really good then. Like this, if I had to rate it 1 through 10, give it like a 7.5 or an 8. But it's really, really good. It's really smooth, very smooth. It's super creamy, super rich, very rich and creamy and sweet. I'm gonna read what it says right here. No foam, extra hot, half calf, no whipped soy latte. Enough of the coffee house BS already. It's time to get out of the line and step up to what's next. Java Monster Premium Coffee. And cream brewed up with killer flavor, supercharged with Monster Energy Blend. Coffee done the Monster way, wide open with a take no prisoners attitude and the experience to know how to back it up. That's what I'm talking about. So, Jesus went to the store and got some Mean Bean Monster, and he rates it 7.5, an 8 out of 10. All right, and I also got this lemon cream Danish, okay? From Bon Appetit. Not going to read the ingredients there, but I see the sweet, sugary sweetness. Manufactured inside of a warehouse, for sure. Mini board, but very happy and well-off employees. Now, let me break this thing, and I want to see it just as much as you can. You see it flattens out there. Doesn't hold its mouth very much. Let's see what's inside there. All right, so you can see. Very hollow, but you can see that there's an attempt to put flavor in there. Where's lemon cream Danish? Okay, very airy. Let's try this out. You see this spot where there's just air, right? If there was some kind of strawberry or cream cheese within that, this thing would be fire. I mean, fire. Alas, there is not. I don't have the ingredients with me to make that. I was really Jesus and really magic and really mystical, I would shoot cream cheese and strawberries out of my fucking finger and fill it full. But it is sweet. And I feel at home while I'm eating sweet pastries. So I'm happy. I'm wondering how to enjoy the rest of it even more, rather than just shoving it down my throat. As it stands, it's like, it's a really good foundation to like add on to. Like, it has a lot of potential. Like, as it stands, they give it like a 4 out of 10, or like a 2 out of 5, something like that, yeah. Or like maybe like a 4.5 out of 10. But like, if it was the same thing, but there's like a flavor profile that I can taste within my palate that I would add to that, and it would make it a righteous 10 out of 10, no doubt. As it stands, though, it's it leaves me wanting a little bit more, and I just don't like that. It makes me upset, because when I buy something, I just want to be fully satisfied. And I think if it can give me like a 5 out of 10 at least, then I'll be satisfied enough. Anyway, guys, give me 1 second. I don't want to do this, but I'm going to run another room real quick. But like, give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Went into the other room to get these right here. And I'm going to rate these, and I'm going to tell you exactly what they taste like. I'm going to get one of my special ones out here. Smells like a fart. Gross. My fart stinks. And I smell a cigarette. And I'm eating something I kind of enjoy. And I'm recording myself. And I'm wondering if I'm doing the right things with my life. You know, perhaps I could be using my hands to paint, or to text someone I love, or to draw, or to make a beat with on my phone. But I can't use my phone right now because I'm using it to record this video. And I'm recording this video for you guys, for anyone who happens to be bored and just need to connect with me as I drink Java Monster coffee and eat my coffee cake. And you tell me, should I smoke my cigarette? I get an instant yes, so I'm gonna light it up, and I probably won't smoke much of it. I'm not gonna smoke this one that I threw earlier. Let's grab a different one. Just like that 10 times cooler. Now, with my coffee, my cigarette, I see my goat keys, my son's goat keys rolling piano behind me, and I just want to play it. However, with that being said, if I had my guitar here, my guitar is at Steve-O's house down by the river. If I had my guitar here, I would most certainly do some chord progressions and learn some more songs on that. Alas, I don't have it. I do have an electric guitar, but I'm not gonna play it. I'm just gonna wait till I get my guitar's electric also, but it's a hollow body, and I don't know. I just like the composition of mine better, so I'll just wait till I get it back. And then I'm just gonna excuse me a second. I'm just gonna go throw this out so I can stop smoking faster. Give me 1 second. I'll hit it one more time for old time's sake. All right, I'm back. Let's see. More coffee. More snack. I'll be able to eat this whole thing here. Well, okay, so I'm going to read a little bit of the Bhagavad Gita here. I'm not going to read chapter 1. I'm going to go into chapter 2. Just give me one moment to get there. So in the introduction, chapter 6, chapter 3. We go, found chapter 2. It's called Self-Realization. Okay? Now, I'm going to read this. And I'll tell you who is speaking and when they're speaking. This is Sanjaya. And Sanjaya says, "These are the words that Sri Krishna spoke to the despairing Arjuna, whose eyes were burning with tears of pity and confusion." Okay, so Krishna says, "This despair and weakness in a time of crisis are mean and unworthy of you, Arjuna. How have you fallen into a state so far from the path of liberation? It does not become you to yield to this weakness. Arise with a brave heart and destroy the enemy." So Arjuna says, "How can I ever bring myself to fight against Bhishma and Drona, who are worthy of reverence? How can I, Krishna? Surely it would be better to spend my life begging than to kill these great and worthy souls. If I killed them, every pleasure I found would be tainted. I don't even know which would be better, for us to conquer them or for them to conquer us. The sons of Dhritarashtra have confronted us, but why would we care to live if we killed them? My will is paralyzed, and I am utterly confused. Tell me which is better path for me. Let me be your disciple. I have fallen at your feet. Give me instruction. What can overcome a sorrow that saps all my vitality? Even power over men and gods or the wealth of an empire seem empty." And then Sanjaya says, "This is how Arjuna, the great warrior, spoke to Sri Krishna with the words, 'O Krishna, I will not fight.'" He fell silent. As they stood between the two armies, Sri Krishna smiled and replied to Arjuna, who had sunk into despair. Krishna says, "You speak sincerely, but your sorrow has no cause. The wise grieve neither for the living nor the dead. There have never been a time when you and I and the kings gathered here have not existed, nor will there be a time when we will cease to exist. As the same person inhabits the body through childhood, youth, and old age, so too at the time of death he attains another body. The wise are not deluded by these changes. When the senses contact these objects, a person's experiences cold or heat, pleasure or pain, these experiences are fleeting and they come and go. Bear them patiently, Arjuna. Those who are unaffected by these changes, who are the same in pleasure and in pain, are truly wise and fit for immortality. Assert your strength and realize this. The impermanent has no reality. Reality lies in the eternal. Those who have seen the boundary between these have attained the end of all knowledge. Realize that which pervades the universe is indestructible. No power can affect this unchanging, imperishable reality. The body is mortal, but that which dwells in the body is immortal and immeasurable. Therefore, Arjuna, fight in this battle. One believes he is the slayer, another believes he is the slain. Both are ignorant. There is neither slayer nor slain. You were never born, you will never die, you have never changed, you can never change, unborn, eternal, immutable, immemorable. Let me try and read this right. memorial. You do not die when the body dies. Realizing that which is indestructible, eternal, unborn, unchanging, how can you slay or cause another to slay? As one abandons worn-out clothes and acquires new ones, so when the body is worn out, a new one is acquired by the self who lies within. The self cannot be pierced by weapons or burned by fire. Water cannot wet it, nor can the wind dry it. The self cannot be pierced or burned, made wet or dry. It is everlasting and infinite, standing on the motionless foundations of eternity. The self is unmanifested beyond all thought, beyond all change. Knowing this, you should not grieve. O mighty Arjuna, even if you believe the self to be subject to birth and death, you should not grieve. Death is inevitable for the living. Birth is inevitable for the dead. Since these are unavoidable, you should not sorrow. Every creature is unmanifested at first and then attains manifestation. When its end has come, it once again becomes unmanifested. What is there to lament in this? The glory of the self is beheld by a few, and a few describe it, a few listen, but many without understanding. The self of all beings living within the body is eternal and cannot be harmed. Therefore, do not grieve. Considering your dharma, you should not vacillate. For a warrior, nothing is higher than a war against evil. The warrior confronted with such a war should be pleased, Arjuna, for it comes as an open gate to heaven. I'm going to go back up to this word vacillate. I'm not sure what that means, and I'm going to start reading it again. Considering your dharma, you should not vacillate. Maybe it means kind of the same thing as grieve. For a warrior, nothing is higher than the war against evil. The warrior confronted with such a war should be pleased, Arjuna, for it comes as an open gate to heaven. But if you do not participate in this battle against evil, you will incur sin, violating your dharma and your honor. The story of your dishonor will be repeated endlessly, and for a man of honor, dishonor is worse than death. These brave warriors will think you have withdrawn from a battle out of fear, and those who formerly esteemed you will treat you with disrespect. Your enemies will ridicule your strength and say things that should not be said. What could be more painful than this? Death means the attainment of heaven. Victory means the enjoyment of the earth. Therefore, rise up, Arjuna, resolve to fight. Having made yourself alike in pain and pleasure, profit and loss, victory and defeat, engage in this great battle, and you will be freed from sin. You have heard the intellectual explanation of Sakya, Arjuna. Now listen to the principles of yoga. By practicing these, you can break through the bonds of karma. On this path, effort never goes to waste, and there is no failure. Even a little effort towards spiritual awareness will protect you from the greatest fear. Those who follow this path, resolving deep within themselves to seek me alone, attain singleness of purpose. For those who lack resolution, the decisions of life are many-branched and endless. There are ignorant people who speak flowery words and take delight in the letter of the law, saying that there is nothing else. Their hearts are full of selfish desires, Arjuna. Their idea of heaven is their own enjoyment, and the aim of all their activities is pleasure and power. The fruit of their actions is continual rebirth. Those whose minds are swept away by the pursuit of pleasure and power are incapable of following the supreme goal and will not attain samadhi. The scriptures describe the three gunas, but you should be free from the action of the gunas, established in eternal truth, self-controlled, without any sense of duality or the desire to acquire and hoard. Just as a reservoir is of little use when the whole countryside is flooded, scriptures are of little use to the illumined man or woman who sees the Lord everywhere. You have the right to work, but never to the fruit of work. You should never engage in action for the sake of reward, nor should you long for inaction. Perform work in this world, Arjuna, as a man established within himself, without selfish attachments, and alike in success and defeat. For yoga is a perfect evenness of mind. Seek refuge in the attitude of detachment, and you will amass the wealth of spiritual awareness. Those who are motivated only by desire for the fruits of action are miserable, for they are constantly anxious about the results of what they do. When consciousness is unified, however, all vain anxiety is left behind. There is no cause for worry, whether things go well or ill. Therefore, devote yourself the disciplines of yoga, for yoga is a skill in action. The wise unify their consciousness and abandon the attachment to the fruits of action, which binds a person to continual rebirth. Thus they attain a state beyond all evil. When your mind has overcome the confusion of duality, you will attain the state of holy indifference to things you hear and things you have heard. When you are unmoved by the confusion of ideas and your mind is completely united in deep samadhi, you will attain the state of perfect yoga. Wow, Krishna. Krishna can talk and talk and talk. Wow. Arjuna says to this, tell me of those who have established in wisdom, ever aware of the self, O Krishna. How do they talk? How sit? How move about? They live in wisdom. Okay, now Krishna here repeats back to him. They live in wisdom, who see themselves in all and all in them, who have renounced every selfish desire and sense craving tormenting the heart. Neither agitated by grief nor hankering after pleasure, they live free from lust and fear and anger. Established in meditation, they are truly wise, fettered no more by selfish attachments. They are neither elated by good fortune nor depressed by bad. Such are the seers. Even as a tortoise draws in its limbs, the wise can draw in their senses at will. Aspirants abstain from sense pleasures, but they still crave for them. These cravings all disappear when they see the highest goal. Even of those who tread the path, the stormy senses can sweep off the mind. They live in wisdom, who subdue their senses and keep their minds ever absorbed in me. Excuse me. Let me pause for the cause 1 second. Let me take a little sip. Since I'm pausing, you guys go ahead and subscribe and like this video. And I will give you more good knowledge, my good children. Oh, a little bite right there. I had all the lemon in it. All right. Yeah. Man. Let me cue this up. When you keep thinking about sense objects, attachment comes. Attachment breeds desire, the lust of possession that burns to anger. Anger clouds the judgment. You can no longer learn from past mistakes. Lost is the power to choose between what is wise and what is unwise, and your life is utter waste. But when you move amidst the world of sense, free from attachment and aversion alike, there comes the peace in which all sorrows end, and you live in the wisdom itself. The disunited mind is far from wise. How can it meditate? How be it at peace? When you know no peace, how can you know joy? When you let your mind follow the call of the senses, they carry away your better judgment as storms drive a boat off its charted course on the sea. Use all your power to free the senses from attachment and aversion alike, and live in the full wisdom of the self. Such a sage awakes to light in the night of all creatures. That which the world calls day is the night of ignorance to the wise. As rivers flow into the ocean but cannot make the vast ocean overflow, so flow the streams of the sense world into the sea of peace that is the sage. But this is not so with the desirer of desires. They are forever free who renounce all selfish desires and break away from the ego cage of I, me, and mine, to be united with the Lord. This is the supreme state. Attain to this and pass from death to immortality. So, that's the end of chapter 2 there. And you get to pass from death to immortality. So, perhaps at the beginning of this video, you, like everyone else, feared death. Maybe you've experienced loss in your life, and every time we experience loss of a human being, it's very painful, and it's so sad that we can never bring that person back, you know? Because a lot of times they were our family members, or just maybe a hero that we had within the community, like a great actor, or a great singer, or a president, or a great spiritual sage, you know, like Jesus. When the world lost Jesus 2,000 years ago, especially at such a young age, he was only 33 years old. And he got crucified, hung up on a cross with thorns on his forehead. And he had to get nailed to a cross with his arms out like this and his feet overlapping like this. I can't imagine the horror that must have gone through young Jesus' mind. I'm 31 years old. I couldn't imagine an actual nail driving through my hand and then putting me up on a cross, like seriously, like, you know, like blood running down my hands and down my feet and down my face, and having everyone look at me and just cast their doubt upon me, saying, if you were really the Son of God, you wouldn't allow yourself in this situation. But everyone knows that you cannot manipulate this material world in such a way that you can make others do what you want them to do. Everyone has their own mind. And for some reason, some people, Jesus, who was an eternal light source, the sun, just like the sun in our sky, a beam of light that God shone through. Just like that person walks the earth, there will be the inverse of that. The person who is full of darkness and decides within their mind that they will take this light creature, and instead of allowing them to pass the knowledge of goodness and wisdom and light and hope throughout their journey on this earth, they decide, I will cast this man a demon, and I will crucify him in public, and I will kill him. That way he's unable to spread his message anymore. And if he's not able to spread his message, then my message will run rampart and everyone will believe what I say. So that's what happened 2,000 years ago. And you can see if you're alive in the time and age that I am, you know, I live in 2023 and I was born in 1991 and I'm 31 years old. And no one praises the man who crucified Jesus. No one says eternity live his name. No one says God praise that guy. But you know what people do? They see the light and the love within Jesus. And they praise his name. Everywhere you go, you see on billboards, Jesus. And you hear people say, in Jesus' name, amen. And you hear in songs, some people talk about Jesus' love. And some people nowadays, you know, so much time has gone by without anybody seeing or hearing from Jesus that some people doubt in Jesus. And some people still say, man, how did he turn water into wine? That's very crazy. That's awesome, isn't it? But Jesus' love is eternal. It is a flame just like the sun in our sky, that as long as this earth is here and as long as people inhabit this earth, the love of Jesus will floweth over. There's an endless amount of love, an endless amount of creation. On that note, I will pause for a cause and take a sip of this mean bean. What do you guys think about this fuel here? All right, I'm going to hop off the YouTube right now and check my messages. Here's some little ooey gooey for you. Don't know how ooey gooey to make it. All right, I'll talk to you friends later. Ta-ta for now.